Yo, what's poppin'? OFX in the building. So the video is going to be about market structure. Okay. Market structure is really simple stuff, but it's also super key. It's the base of my trading. It's the base of a lot of successful traders trading. So it's uptrends, downtrends. Okay. In an uptrend, we have impulses, pullbacks. Impulses are going up, pullbacks are going down, impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback. And the same thing for downtrends, but the opposite direction. So impulse, pullback, impulse, pullback, impulses are down, pullbacks are up. Okay, and then in the uptrend consists of higher highs and higher lows. The high that is above the previous high is considered a higher high. Then the next one's above the previous one. Next one's above the previous one, higher high, and the same thing for the higher lows. This higher low is above the previous higher low. This higher low is above the previous higher low, and that's how you identify the uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows, consistently making those movements. And then downtrend is the same thing. We have lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. This low is below the previous one, and this high is below the previous one, so lower lows and lower highs. Okay. Really simple stuff. When you're looking at structure, you want to look on the higher time frames. Okay, so you can get an overall picture. The lower time frames, like the hour and below, are more so momentum structure. Weekly, daily, 4-hour is the actual structure of the market and where it's going. Okay, so you want to focus on those. And then when we are looking at an uptrend, we want to focus on the higher lows. When we're looking on a downtrend, we want to focus on the lower highs. Okay. And the reason is because the way we will know when market is, or the structure is flipped and it's going to start going the other direction, is when we have a higher low that is broken. Okay, a significant higher low that is busted. So right here, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay, it makes a lower high, right, which is the first sign that it might flip over. Okay, and then it busts through the last higher low, makes a lower low, then lower high, then it starts going down. Okay, but at the same time, a lower high is the first sign that it might do that, but it's not guaranteed. So price could literally make higher lows all right here, even come to right here and continue up because this last higher low is not broken. Okay, I've seen a lot of people try to sell off when it starts making lower highs and get taken out because this last piece of structure was not broken. Okay, and the same thing for right here, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, until this is broken straight through. Okay, until structure goes like that, it doesn't matter. It could be right here, just playing around, going around, and then continue down. Okay, it really doesn't matter. It has to be busted before. Okay, so that is really structure, man. Higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, stuff like that. You have to wait for the structure to be broken to continue with it. Okay, so now let's get into actual structure. Okay, so let's look at this. Right here, we have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? No, that's not, actually, scratch that. What? That's not a significant one, right? If we see all this noise right up in here, we can even see this was taken out. We can even see this one above that, okay? And then dropped, okay? Because this was the last significant lower high. Right, we want to focus on the significant ones. We don't want to focus on all the noise in between it. Okay. Whoops. All right, lower low, and then it continues. Okay. But notice this. This is a higher low, right? Inside of this. Lower low, lower high, higher low. Okay, so our first sign that it might break through, right? And then we see this big push up that took out this, and this. Took out all that. And then it started going up, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? So then this is what I'm talking about when we have to focus on the overall structure, because we see we had this massive push down, this impulse. This whole thing was a pullback. Eventually it got up to here, got about halfway of the impulse, and then started dropping, right? So the entire move, the entire structure is what we focus on. We could have got sells in this area down here and then buys in this area right here, but overall know where structure is and where it's going to come to, and then that's where the real move can happen. Right, so we see that, see higher highs, higher lows. This was the last significant higher low, right? And it got busted, and it's creating lower lows and lower highs now, all the way down to this point, and then it starts doing that thing again. Right, we got higher high, higher low, higher low, higher low. Notice this is key. This is what I was just talking about. You can focus on the higher lows. If it's making lower highs, it still doesn't matter until it's broken, right? Until the higher lows are broken. So this was making lower high, but look at the higher lows. They're above each other. So it's still pushed up. Okay, that's very, very key. Then made higher high, higher low, higher high. And check this out. That structure was broken. The last higher low structure was broken. Lower low, pull back, lower high. Then it started dropping again. Okay, started dropping again. Lower low, lower high, lower low. Right. So now all we can expect is a pullback and then a drop. Right. But overall, we're buying, we're selling, we're doing both. We're catching buys in this, but we overall understand the entire structure is bearish. Okay, we see this entire drop, this entire pullback up into it, right? This drop, and then the same thing. We repeat the same process, understanding where the entire structure is actually going. Okay, and then that's when we can be safe in our entries, you know, and buy and sell on the 1 hour, understanding on the weekly and daily where structure is actually going. So that is really it for structure. It's really, really simple stuff. OFX out.